Hey, it's Ryan from upfitsupply.com, and in this video, we're gonna unbox a weatherguard saddle box, also known as a crossover box, pickup truck, toolbox. Let's get into it. Okay, first of all, this is a big box. Now these saddle boxes or crossover boxes are gonna come in a lot of different sizes and configurations. You can get them for full-size trucks, you can get them for mid-size trucks, you can get them low profile like this one, you can get them standard, you can get them extra wide, deep, and so on. And so the actual box that they come in is going to vary, but 9 times out of 10, it's going to be shipping via an LTL freight carrier on a pallet. And so the pros of that is it's strapped to a pallet, being moved by pallet jacks and forklifts, as opposed to being thrown by package handlers if it was going via UPS or FedEx. Side is it is a little bit more expensive. A lot of times you have to be present for delivery and things like that, but most likely gonna arrive to you damage-free. This is how it comes from the factory. Now we're gonna go ahead and open this box, so give me a minute to get it out. Now this is it out of the box. You're actually seeing the part that goes up against the cab. So I'm gonna spin it around here in a second, but I just wanna give you a look at the back here. This is a smooth finish. It's not the diamond plate texture like the rest of the box has. You can see there's a little rib in there for some structural reasons and things like that. So let me spin this around real quick. Okay, a couple things I just wanted to note during the unboxing process is the box is tight fit around this box, and there's also some dunnage cardboard like this. It kind of goes along these little edges right here that's gonna prevent shifting and things like that in the box. So it is packaged pretty well for how big it is. This is about 70 pounds, but again, this is going to vary depending on the size type of box that you get. So this box is for full-size pickup trucks, so that's gonna be your half-ton, three-quarter, one-ton trucks, F-150, Super Duty, Silverado, Sierra, and the Ram trucks. Full size, there's a different size box for the mid-size trucks. And this is the low profile, which means this part that sits over the bed rail, basically what you would see if you look out the back window in the cab. It's a little bit lower profile, doesn't stick up quite as high, but it does add a little bit of depth on the bottom of the box. So all in all, you know, from top to bottom, it's about the same height as your standard box, but it does go a little bit lower below the bed rather than going higher and above. So pros and cons of that, obviously, number one, lower profile, more viewing area behind you, things like that. You do lose a little bit of volume because you lose some of that available space up here. You have to reach a little bit further to get to the bottom of the box as well. The other thing to know about this is the textured matte black finish. You can get this box in multiple finishes. You can get it in steel, I believe, and you can get it in aluminum. And in the aluminum configuration, you can get it in textured matte black, a gloss black, it's just your standard aluminum finish, and then a gunmetal gray. Now, a couple of other things to point out here. We take this out of the box, we do have our nice weatherguard logos right here, and it is covered with some plastic protector to prevent that from getting scratched during transit. And then the same thing on our little placards on the edges of the box as well. Nice thing about these cargo boxes or these saddle boxes is they put these little cargo rings. They're really easy to grab and pull up and attach some things in your truck bed to secure it. Now these are not intended for like tying down your four-wheeler and things like that. You remember that this box just attaches underneath the rails of the bed, and so it's not super, it's not meant to carry the load, a big load. So this is just meant for minor securing of loads and things like that. Now you notice here on the edges, we do have our push button unlock and opening mechanisms right here. From the factory, there's gonna be a sticker over top of the keyhole because you actually key these when you install them essentially. And basically the reason that they do that is because you can choose the key that you want to use for all of your boxes. So if you want all of your weatherguard boxes to be keyed alike, you can do that when you install them and just use the same key essentially when you program them for the first time. And so if you have a saddle box, maybe 2 low side boxes, you can use the same key all of those and then use that same key to open all of them. Or if you have a fleet, you want all of your boxes across your fleet to use the same key, you can do that as well without having to special order a whole bunch of keys and locks and all of that. You can do that just with what you get out of the box. Now you can see across here, we do have that diamond plate textured finish. We do have a little inset area here in the box here for structural reasons. And then I'll go ahead and open this box up. And one of the things I love about the WeatherGuard box is just how nice these gas struts are. So if I just push this button, opens nice and smooth. It's not too fast, not too slow. It's a nice kind of opening with these gas-powered struts right here. The thing about these struts is that they last a long time. I've seen some of these boxes 10 years old. They still open like they're brand new. You can also replace these relatively easily. They are just some hex bolts here. You can buy replacement parts really easily to get those replaced. Now in our box here is where we're gonna have our little installation instruction sheet. This is actually just a one-pager with a QR code, so you're gonna take your phone, camera, and look at the full instructions for installing that. We're gonna be installing this on a pickup truck in another video, so be sure to check that out if you're interested in watching that. Inside here, we do have some of our accessories and our installation hardware. So it does come with an accessory tray. I'm gonna open this up here in a second. And then it comes with all the installation hardware you need. So installing these boxes is pretty simple. You're gonna get a carriage bolt and one of these little C-clamps. Essentially, there's holes right here on the side wings of the box, and you're essentially bolt it underneath the rails of the bed. It does include 4 of those clamps and 4 of those carriage bolts and your lock nuts. Let's go ahead and take a look at this accessory tray. We got some nice dunnage in this box as well. Styrofoam separators, keep it from shifting in the box. There's also one here in the middle to keep it from getting bent. Now we get some questions about how to install this little tool tray in here because it's kind of challenging to get it in here. Essentially what you have to do is you have to kind of install it in the middle of the box, and then, you know, it's kind of a conflict right there. You also have a little bracket there. Now, if you move it off to just the side a little bit, you can pull on the middle of the box and slide it down. I find it's a little bit easier to kind of start from the bottom. You push this all the way up towards the top right here. Same type of deal. And it pops in place like that. Now, it can move and slide, but there are some holes here kind of on the side where you can use some self-threading screws if you wanted to and attach those that way. Let's go ahead and move this out of the way. Now, just a couple of features on this box. As you can see right here, we do have our registration label, our serial number, our part number, and all of that. This is the 121-52-04, so the -04 is the 04 series, or the 4th generation of this box. Relatively new as of 2024, and so there are a few new things in this box as opposed to the 03 version, but for the most part, it's pretty similar. We also have our serial number here, our customer service information with WeatherGuard, warning labels, our nice big WeatherGuard promotional sticker, some free advertising that you're giving WeatherGuard every time you open this box. You can see these little supports here that go across the lid. This is a great thing about the WeatherGuard box is that there's no flex in this lid. You know, as I try to shut this and I try and latch it down, both sides engage. Sometimes when you push these down from one side, like the other latch won't latch from doing it from this side. So you have to walk around your truck and push that side down. Other thing I love about WeatherGuard boxes is it's just a push button and you get that open right there. Whereas, you know, some of these boxes, they got your little latch, you got to spin right here, and sometimes you can do one of them and it opens both. Sometimes they don't, they operate separately, and you have to get in the truck basically to get inside your box. So this is super convenient. WeatherGuard kind of makes the top of the line truck boxes out there. You know, with these gas struts, the way it closes and shuts, just the stability in this, the construction, the welds, everything they do about this box is superior to a lot of the other products out there. The one thing are these locks, and I want to show you this real quick. So when you get this, when you open up this box, your keys are going to be zip tied inside here. The thing about these keys, they call it the one key ultra lock, but look at these keys. This is just not your typical like padlock key or anything like that. It's almost like an old-fashioned car key before they made them all keyless. But you know, this is very similar to like my old Ford key. It's that OEM quality key, super hard to pick and things like that. So it's gonna be super secure. The thing about this is you can see there is a number on this key. It says B004. That is your key number. You can get replacements of this if you know the key number. So that's one thing you want to take note of. The other thing is if you're programming your locks to be used across multiple boxes, you want to keep track of that number as well, just in case you lose them or you need more of them. If you're getting the same, if you're keying all your boxes across your fleet alike, you want to make sure that you get the same keys for those as well. The WeatherGuard kind of zip tied to the keys. They also give you this little card here. You can register your key code on their website. So it basically remembers it for you. If you register it, and then it tells you how to program the lock. I'm gonna do another video of how to program these locks. So if you're interested in that, be sure to check that out. Now, you do get 2 keys per box. So keep one on your keychain and one hidden somewhere just in case you lose it. Now over on this side of the box, I don't know how clearly that shows up in the video, but there is a rubber grommet right here that you can route in your wiring, and that's really for some accessories you can get for this box, part of the Power Sync line of accessories. And you can put lighting in here, you can put a power strip in here, you can essentially replace your little manual locks with a keyless entry, so you just push a button and up pops your lid. So some cool accessories right here with your rubber grommet. It's gonna keep weather out and all of that. The other thing I want to show you, speaking of weather, is our nice seal right here on the lid of the box. You know, it's not gonna get damaged as you're using the box. Sometimes if you have the seal down here, it just gets rubbed against, or, you know, wear and tear kind of wears down on it, where if you have it up here, it's out of the way. The other thing about this is because it is so weather tight, is when you shut this, sometimes it's hard to slam it down. So the best way to actually close this is just slowly tap it down. And the reason for that is because of the pressure differential you're creating. When you try and slam this down, you're creating all this air down here. It wants to lift the lid up because it is so airtight. It's gonna keep out all those elements and things like that. And another thing I wanna do in this video is just take some measurements to make sure that this will fit in your truck, and you can see what size it will be and things like that. Now, WeatherGuard does a great job of making sure that it basically fits all full-size trucks. So it does fit the F-150, the F-250, the F-350, the Silverado 1500, 2500, 3500. Same thing with the GMC models. It does fit the Ram, all models. Also fits the Toyota Tundra. So basically any full-size truck. The thing about truck boxes, they're not vehicle specific. They're kind of just generic sizes. So this is your typical 72-inch box, which means it's about 72 inches from the top of the lid to the top of the lid over there. And then it comes inset here about, what is that, 60 inches, 58.5 inches down here. So this needs to fit in between your rails on the bed, and this needs to overhang them just a little bit because you're gonna clamp down on those bed rails. Speaking of that, if you do have the Ram box, or you do have a pickup that does not have traditional bed rails, like the Toyota Tacoma, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna be able to attach. It might fit, you're not gonna be able to attach it to the truck. Now again, we talked about 72 inches. If I close this lid, you go from the widest point on this lid, we are at 71.75 of an inch, almost 7/8 of an inch. Now, your button sticks out a little bit, it's not gonna be that big a deal. Then I told you, what was this, about 60 inches? 58.5 inches right there. If I go from bottom of the box to top of the box, this is 18.5 inches. If I look at just this part that's gonna be under your bed rail, this is going to be 13 inches right here. And then above your bed rail is gonna be 5 inches, 5.5, 5 3/8 of an inch. So the other thing is just your depth here. Your depth at the lid, which is basically the same depth as the box, is 19 5/8 of an inch. So like I said, this is the low profile box. There is a standard box that sits a few inches higher, and then your bottom actually comes up a little bit, sits a little bit higher off of the bed. It's essentially that same 18-inch total height, but it's just kind of shifted upwards a little bit. You have a little bit more room here on your wings, and so on. Now, like I mentioned, there is a different box for mid-sized trucks. So your Ranger, your Canyon, your Colorado, and your Frontier, some of the boxes will fit the Frontier. There is a no fit on the Toyota Tacoma because of the way they do their bed rails with the those channels in there and all of that, so it does not fit Tacoma models. Now that just about does it for the unboxing of this WeatherGuard saddle box. Now if you're interested in how to code these locks and program them for the first time, we're gonna do another video on that, so be sure to check that out. We're also gonna show you how to install this on a pickup truck. Check that video out as well. If you're looking for this saddle box or any other box, whether it's a low side, a high side, an underbody, saddle box, a chest, whatever it may be, a pork chop box, for the wheel wells, we've got you covered at upfitsupply.com. We have some of the widest and deepest inventory of WeatherGuard boxes that you'll find online. We ship these out of over 20 of our 45 shipping centers, so it's gonna be near you. It's gonna ship for cheap and you're gonna get it fast. So be sure to check us out at upfitsupply.com. Again, my name is Ryan. Have a good one.